Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Debt Collection 101 here on Our Bite You. Today we have two very special guests. We have Lauren Lewis with StaffBuffalo.
Yep.
Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
We have our very own AP, Alexandra Palmer, Director of Administration and Human Resources, who makes very rare appearances on these shows. So thanks so much. Lauren, for anyone watching who doesn't know who you are and what you do, tell us about yourself and your role at StaffBuffalo.
Awesome, thank you. Thanks guys for having me. I'm excited to be here today. So I'm Lauren Lewis. I am a partner at StaffBuffalo. We are a local woman-owned recruiting company, full service recruiting. We started in 2015, so actually this coming April will be our 5-year anniversary. So that's super exciting, really pumped to meet that milestone, so thank you. When we started the company, it was really kind of startup. We started out of my cousin, who's my business partner, her dining room. And we really started focusing on the direct hire permanent placement. So we did a lot in accounting and finance. That's kind of what we built the business around, hiring for those positions. And then as our clients grew and their needs grew, we expanded into human resources, general business operations, sales, marketing, legal positions. It's really anything office level admin up to the C-level jobs. Most recently, we added temporary staffing to our kind of portfolio. So we had 2 women come and join our team, and
Awesome.
They are leading our temporary staffing division as well. So we're pumped to have them on. There are 6 of us total at StaffBuffalo right now.
Awesome.
And just continuing to grow and evolve. And our goal really is to be that hiring partner for our clients' needs. So whatever their hiring needs are, we can help them, whether it's direct hire staffing, temporary staffing, high volume customer service people. Those are positions we can help with.
Cool. When you're trying to fill a position, like where do you start? Are there certain platforms that you use or people that you reach out to? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. So when a company comes to us to fill a certain position, we'll just say an accountant, we start with our database. So we have a whole database of candidates that we've accumulated through the years. I mean, there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people in our database, probably 50,000 at this point. And we have their resumes. A lot of the times the candidates have already talked to one of our recruiters, and our recruiters really talk with them about their career path. So previous positions they've held, what their responsibilities are, why they're open to new positions. Some of them might not be open to a new position at all. They might just be passively looking. Maybe they're happy where they're at, but always kind of open to the next opportunity for that next step in their career. So we want to know what would make them leave that position? What would get them excited to make that move? Salary requirements. We talked through other previous job changes. Commute. Commute is a big question in Western New York. There are a lot of Western New Yorkers that don't want to drive from the North Towns to Orchard Park because it snows down there. I'm like, it snows everywhere in Orchard Park or in Western New York, not just Orchard Park. But people are very particular about where they want to commute to. So we asked that as well. Some people don't want to commute downtown because they're afraid for parking. They might not be able to find a parking spot, pay for parking. So whatever it might be, we want to make sure we kind of have a clear understanding of what this candidate is looking for, so that if we do get a position come in that could be a fit for them, we already can know that baseline of where they're at, so we can match make them with the company. So we want to make sure it's a good fit all around. So not only from the qualification standpoint of what they're looking for, but also going to be a good cultural fit into an organization.
So, debt collection agencies in particular, is a big, it's debt collection 101, and they it's a huge challenge for them. It's a huge challenge across every industry, though, right? Hiring for people, and sometimes I think collection agencies think that maybe it's just their own challenge and not everybody else's. So, when you deal with a niche kind of industry, or maybe an industry that's not as desirable, or something that's super flashy, how do you kind of work with that? How do you feel excited for that? What do you do?
Well, I think a lot of how we get our candidates excited for something is we really want to understand the organization as a whole.
Yeah.
What separates the organization from other debt collection agencies? What's the culture here? I mean, even just following you on social media and being here today, you can tell it's got a great, fun environment. Everyone here seems like awesome, fun, friendly people. The pool table's over there, so you can tell you have a fun environment. And you probably want great people who can fit into this culture, fit into the organization, continue to drive it forward, are excited to be here, are motivated to be here. Maybe motivated by goals. So you want to try and uncover all the things about the organization so we find the people that will fit that culture. So I'm sure collections is probably very goal driven, right? So competitive. So we make sure you try and find someone who has that background that is competitive, is comfortable on the phone, doesn't get bothered by rejection, doesn't get bothered by someone who's upset on the phone.
It's similar a lot to sales, like,
Very similar to sales, yeah. The competitive edge, that kind of fast pace. So we're trying to find someone who has that personality, and sometimes it's talking to them about what they've done previously, what motivates them. If they're an athlete in the past, a lot of times they have that natural competitive nature. So you want to talk about things like that with them and what drives them.
So interviewing takes up like a huge amount of time for us, and I mean, when we're hiring developers, people talk about it all the time. So what are some of the like things that you can do prior to an interview to kind of vet the candidates?
Stalk them. We have all of our recruiters use social media a lot. So check out someone on LinkedIn, try and check out their Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I mean, nowadays, because everything is so online, there are a lot of different ways that you can vet someone beforehand.
Right.
And that can tell someone a lot about someone by what they post on social media versus what they don't post. You kind of hope most people at least keep it very private, but shows they care and they're concerned about, their persona and how they can be perceived. But honestly, doing a lot of stalking beforehand can really help kind of vet it before you even talk to that person.
Do you have people change their profiles before they go in for interviews and such often?
We don't necessarily tell them to, because usually at that point we've already qualified them to know okay, they're going to be a decent person to put in front of our client for an interview, because a lot of it, we want to make sure the people we put in front of our clients are going to be a good candidate.
Right.
So we try and vet all that out first. But our company does offer social media audits for prospective candidates for a small fee, where we can kind of go through and look at their social media to help them maybe take some things down or change their privacy so that they're putting their best foot forward.
Right.
We've had some candidates that have lost a job because of their social media.
Oh, wow.
And it was something so minor that Maggie, my partner, and I tried to look through their profile. We're we don't see anything.
Yeah.
But it was such a minor thing on their profile. The profile is completely benign. You're this person is just totally normal,
Right.
recent college grad, but there was that one picture that cost them a job, which was a total bummer. So that's why it's so important that we offer the social media audit for prospective candidates. Whether it's what someone we're working with, to directly place with their client or not, it's an option out there, because let's be real, I think we're all on social media, and it's something that plays a huge part in a lot of our day-to-day lives, but you want to make sure that's the thing that's not costing you a job.
Right.
So for some of those soft skills, are there specific examples of questions that you would ask to kind of vet for those? Specifically in a debt collection, if you're looking for a debt collector, strong communication skills or things like that.
Yeah,
what
so
questions would you ask?
So sometimes it's not even the questions you ask, but just your own communication with them. So how do they communicate with you? How do they email with you? Is it very terse? Are there grammatical errors in it? Are there, do they even respond with a thank you in an email? Things like that can go a long way, and you kind of check that out before to see someone's communication skills. If it's someone you're bringing in for an interview, you can definitely tell just by, are they on time? How do they present themselves? Are they confident? Are they dressed professionally? All those things are super important. And our recruiters, we encourage them to take note of all that beforehand, so that you can kind of know what you're getting into. So that's a great way to kind of check their communication skills. A lot of times too, it's talking with candidates about, tell us about a challenging situation. How did you handle it? Tell us about a time you were faced with rejection. What was the situation? What happened? How did you respond to that situation? What did you learn from it? All questions like that, then situational questions to really tell you about someone's soft skills and how they kind of navigate through some of those tough times they might have faced.
What do you? I guess I don't know if you would require it, but do you have your candidates send follow-ups after their interviews?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And we send all of our candidates when they're interviewing for a position, they get an interview prep. And one of the things it is on there is like the name of who they're interviewing with, their email address, so it's right there. And there's no excuse for them not to send a thank you email within 24 hours of their interview. And our recruiters always check to make sure that, ask them, hey, like, did you send your follow-up thank you email? And just make sure that all those loops are closed.
Yeah.
And one thing I want to say about follow-ups, follow-up email is super important. Make sure you send it within 24 hours. Some people still love the old school handwritten thank you note, which is awesome and goes so far, but just keep in mind that there might be a lag in the time with regular mail as opposed to an email. So sometimes it might take a few days to get to a week to get to the person you interviewed with, and you want that to like discount you from an interview because things move quick a lot of times in the hiring process. So if you are thinking you're going a step above and sending that handwritten thank you note, send an email as well, because you don't want it to get there a week later and the whole time they're like, well, I didn't get a thank you email. I can't hire this person, there's no follow-up. They're about to not be interested in the job. Well, keep that in mind and send the email first and foremost.
All right. What are some nonverbal cues that you can look for during the interview process? Like when you're interviewing somebody, I guess, is there any? Do you?
Oh, absolutely. Handshake. That's one of the first things I notice on someone I meet, whether it's in an interview or just at a networking event, like a nice, firm, direct handshake.
She judged us both before this started.
Did we shake hands? I don't remember. They must have been good handshakes.
Yeah.
Didn't stick out as a bad one. So good handshake, eye contact, sitting up straight. They're confident. How they're dressed, if they're dressed professionally. Those things are all great nonverbal cues to know if someone's going to be a fit for what you're looking for.
So dressing, what should somebody wear to an interview?
That's a great question because a lot of companies vary. Actually now, like so many companies offer like business casual. But we always say like if an office, if jeans are okay, dress up, dress like a notch above what the office culture is, because you want to dress for the job you want, not the job you have. So if jeans are okay for men, like wear a nice pair of like suit pants, a nice button-down shirt. You do the blazer. You might not have to do the blazer if it's super casual office. Women, skirt, nice shirt or dress, something a little bit dressier, a little bit more professional than what the office culture is. If it's something like a very professional office environment, then definitely a suit. Suit for men, suit for women. You always want to make sure you're putting your best foot forward to get that job.
Yeah.
What are some of the retainment strategies that you've seen with your placements or the companies that you've worked with?
So every company is extremely different. I know a lot of candidates these days, benefits are huge. They always want to know what kind of benefits do you offer. Is it healthcare, dental? What kind of PTO do you offer? Work from home options? Those things go really far. And office culture, what's the culture like? Do they do fun things to show that they care about their employees? Are they engaging their employees that way? Is there a sense that the company is happy the employees are working for them? What kind of benefits do they offer to show that? Is there team building? Are there team events? Are there team outings together? Different things like that kind of help show that a company cares about their employees, engages with them, and is going to retain them.
What are like the biggest benefits or perks that your candidates ask you first? Like if they're questioning if they're taking a position, like they ask you, does this company have
benefits? The healthcare benefits and dental benefits are usually the first questions they ask. Yeah. And then a lot of times it goes into how much is covered.
Yeah.
And then probably next thing is like PTO. Is it set?
How much?
How much do you get? Is it unlimited? Is it 2 weeks? Is it 2 weeks and 5 sick days?
Right.
How is it accrued? All those questions are always very important to staff. And a lot of people care about like their families, so they also want to know if there's flexibility. Like if I have a sick child, can I work from home? Or if I have to get my child on or off the bus, do I have flexibility with what time I can show up or what time I can leave? Things like that are super important for work-life balance.
Yeah.
So we're done with the questions.
Oh, okay.
What would be your final tip for for anybody hiring, looking to, struggling with hiring people, and any collection agency, anyone, I guess, really, that has that challenge? What would be your tip for like attracting good talent to that organization?
So hiring is really tough right now because, thankfully, it's a low unemployment rate locally, so which is great for our region, great for our economy. It's tough if you're hiring because all the good people are working. They're not actively looking for a job, and if someone is actively applying, sometimes there might be something else going on that shows them why they're unemployed or trying to get out of where they're at. Sometimes there's nothing wrong with people who are actively applying. It's a great thing, but it's a lot fewer people that are doing that now. So you wanna sell them on your company. You wanna make sure that you entice them over to come work for you. You wanna make sure you sell them on the job opportunity. If it matches what they're looking for in their career move, if it matches the culture they're looking for, you wanna make sure you really try and win them over. You want them to tell their current company, like, hey, sorry, I got this great opportunity at Arbite Software. I'm gonna be leaving, I'm putting my 2-week notice. And they're excited to do it.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Hopefully everyone watching learned some tips there to hire and better staff your agency.
Yeah.
So, thanks,
If you have
Lauren.
any questions, reach out.
All right. How can people get in touch with you if they want to?
They can go to staffbuffalo.com, connect with me on LinkedIn, Lauren Lewis, and they'll find my information right there. My email address is llewis@staffbuffalo.com. So you can always shoot me an email.
Awesome. We'll link it below too.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Like, subscribe. See you next week.